Yes, you read that right. This knife is cheese. Now, it's not literally cheese. It's actually aluminum and steel. But still, as you can see, it is cheese. How can it be cheese and not cheese at the same time, you ask? I don't know. I don't know. You'll have to ask the wonderful design team at Nabali's. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, what is this guy talking about? What even is that thing? How's that a knife? Why is it cheese? Who's Nabali's? Well, let me fill you in on something. This is a butterfly knife. Better known in the community, the butterfly knife enthusiasts. We like to call them balisongs. It's kind of the more original term for them. Butterfly knife is more like a nickname. But you're probably thinking, that doesn't really look like a knife. I mean, it kind of does, but at the same time, it looks more like cheese. And you would be right in that it's not a knife. It's not sharp anywhere, which is perfect because, as you can see, they are mostly used for doing tricks nowadays. They're quite, popular to be, doing all these crazy tricks. And my flipping's kind of mid right now, so I apologize. But this is a cheese knife. And as you can see, it is a lot of fun. Now, a company called Nabali's actually makes these. They're out of China. And they're one of, I don't want to say the best balisong manufacturers out there, but they are probably the best company that offers the best price to performance you can get in the hobby right now, alongside a couple other companies like LDY, what's the other one? But yeah, anyways, they're from China. They make really good balisongs. You might have seen similar things to these in games like Valorant, Counter-Strike, Apex Legends, that's another one. Now, this thing, as you can see, is a lot of fun. Now, you're probably thinking, how do you get into something like this? How do you find out about this? Well, personally for me, I had a friend buy one, and it was very bad, by the way. It was a very cheap butterfly knife. Ended up really liking it, decided to buy one for myself. I bought one that was even worse. But it was a starting point for me because I realized this was actually something I really enjoyed. I was flipping around these goofy little guys all day, and even though my parents absolutely hated it at first because I was dropping it everywhere, and it just looked like I was some sort of weird wannabe Canadian gangster, I really enjoyed it. Even with all the backlash from, everybody, it was like, you shouldn't be doing that, whatever. I really liked it. Fast forward about 3 years later, I'm still doing it. I have a semi-big collection, and this right now is at the top of my collection right now. This is probably one of my favorite in my collection to flip, mostly just because it flips really well. Even though it is goofy and it's cheese and it's just, how do you take a cheese knife seriously? The answer is you don't. It flips really good. Even with all that goofy silliness, it's a really, really good option for beginners and advanced flippers alike. If you do want to pick up one of these for yourself, they're about 110 Canadian. I don't know how much that is in US, but they are pretty freaking good for the price. Now you're probably thinking, well, potato, I want to get into flipping, but that's just a little too steep for me. There are other options, and if you're looking for a good knife to get you into the hobby without breaking the bank too much, Nabali's is a great company to go with. Customer service, as far as I'm aware, is amazing. They make great quality balisongs for the price. They do have cheaper options, and they still flip very good. But this is great because it will catapult you into the flipping hobby. Now, you're probably for some of the other people, you're probably thinking, why would I get into this? If this, I'm probably just going to get it and I'm going to get bored of it in like a week. And yeah, that could be true. But for me, that did not happen. And for a lot of other people who are currently in the hobby, they thought it might be just something where, like, you know, kind of like speed cubes, Rubik's Cubes, you know, like yo-yos. You get into it for a bit and you kind of just, you know, fall out with it, you know. But I don't know why. Balisong flipping just never really fell off for me. I did have a period of time where I kind of took a break from them, but I always came back to them just because they are super fun. They require a lot of skill, a lot of effort. It's not just like you pick it up and you're instantly good at it. You can just infinitely grow. There's so many combinations of tricks you can do, and it looks really sick. If you're wanting to get one of these, Nabali's is a perfect starting point. Now, I will not have a link in the description, mostly because I'm not financially affiliated with them. But I thought I'd just talk about this knife because it's super cool. And if you guys want to see more of this little flippy boy or any of my other flippy dudes, consider subscribing, hitting that like. It would really help me out. I'm trying to get monetized. I think that'd be pretty sick to have a little side hustle where I'm able to just talk to you guys and, yeah, just share my story. And, yeah. But Nabali's is a great option. I will show you guys some of the other options you can get from Nabali's if you are looking to get into the hobby. Namely these two right here. Now, there are two versions. Actually, there's multiple versions, but there's a couple versions of this one. This is called the Nabali's Impulse. I got this for about 80 bucks Canadian. Very, very good deal. Very, very nice construction. Now, this is not a live blade. I know it looks sharp, but it's actually not. There is another version of this where it has a trainer blade that looks more reminiscent of this, except for it's not cheese. So you can get a different version of this, but this is also a really great option to get you into the hobby. It's not super expensive, but it's still enough to, like, be taken seriously. Very, very good. This is the Nabali's Impulse. Very, very good option. It's light, it's nimble. It looks pretty good. There's a lot of different color options you can get with it, and it's just overall really cool Balisong. And then there's this. This is a little bit cheaper. Actually, it might be the same price as this, but I believe it's a little cheaper. I think it was like 70 bucks. This also looks like it has a live blade, and that's because it is actually sharp, but it did not come sharp. I bought it with, it's called a false live blade. That's what this one is. And I did end up sharpening it, but there is also a version, like I mentioned, with this one, where it has a trainer blade that is not sharp and does not look as threatening as something like this. But this is also a good option. I would recommend the Impulse more, just because it is aluminum and it's lighter than this, which is fully stainless steel. It's quite heavy, and if you're a new flipper, you might get fatigued pretty quick, and that's not something you want when you're starting out. You want to, you know, be as comfortable as possible so that you can, you know, progress without too much opposition in the beginning of the hobby. Because if you buy a really, really cheap knife like I did in the beginning, you might just want nothing to do with it altogether. But if you spend a bit more, you might realize you actually really like the hobby because you're getting something that performs the way it should, not some $10, $15 Balisong that's gonna fall apart after 2 days of use. So yeah, but if you guys are looking to get into the hobby, these are some great options. And if you're already into the hobby, well, these are some great additions to the collection. I think the cheese is super unique. It also flips really well. So if you're wanting to add to your collection, this is a great option. And it's not too expensive. But anyways, I just wanted to make a quick video, talk about the cheese, show off Kitty a little, and yeah. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.